What's going on, everyone? New World Order Survival Guy. Today, I want to talk about LA, Los Angeles. Born and raised in Los Angeles. I haven't lived there in roughly 30 years. Thank God. Things are getting buck wild. I want to get into get home bag. Say you're out of state, out of town, you're coming in, you need to go back home. You live in LA, but obviously there's major disruptions going on right now. There's rioting, there's protesting, there's looting, there's destruction, just mass destruction. Maybe you're living in LA and you want to get out. I suggest doing that a long time ago. But if it's, too bad for that, we need to figure out how in the hell to do one way or another. Get back in to get to your loved ones or get out. The concrete jungle is no joke. The good thing about LA is there's many routes. The county of Los Angeles has like 130 something cities in itself. I'm sure it's extending into Orange County and some of the other counties around it. So it is a complete mayhem trap. But what I'm going to get into today is roughly within an hour of central Los Angeles. So how can you avoid the crap that's going on in there? But you have to get out, at least to the vicinity, or you need to go into LA to retrieve family members or something. Let's get into it. First and foremost, if LA is a big place, all of LA County is a huge place. The riots and stuff is not just happening in the city of LA. It's all throughout the counties and stuff like that. There are some safe places within the suburban areas of Los Angeles, and maybe that's just where you need to go. If you live in LA, you probably have family on the outskirts. Say your car was destroyed, which is a great probability because all sorts of vehicles are being destroyed. And you think you're going to call 911 for help, you think you're going to call medical support to help you, think again, because the probability of that is not likely. So it is okay to have some sort of map if you don't know your way around the utopia of the greater Los Angeles area. There's many streets, and them streets go a long way, some of them. So you could literally take streets for many, many miles. So let's get into this. There is a great uprising in the city of Los Angeles and surrounding areas that, for some reason or another, illegal immigrants, whatever, are protesting, rioting, as well as all nationality, all races and everything. I see them all in there. So it's just like a big frenzy of destruction. And from a lot of these people have nothing to do with the main issue whatsoever. So, like the LA riots, I was there, LA riots, 1992. It was very chaotic. So, yeah, and I had to make my way around areas where it wasn't safe for me to go. So I do have experience. So anyways, this is a totally different type event, but a lot of the same things are still happening, because you get the protesters, the peaceful protesters. You're getting people that are just angry at the cops. But remember, 92 riots, they were angry at the cops, but they were going after other people. Especially if you're like Caucasian, and those riots, you better watch out, because people ain't playing. Now, there's some of that going on over there. But regardless, it could be dangerous for anybody. You have to know when going through LA or any of the vicinities that you know not to go in a wrong neighborhood, a wrong city, and a wrong area, because it doesn't matter what you're wearing. It doesn't even matter what skin color you have. In certain areas, it just doesn't matter. You got to be careful. Now, I would say go gray man, but what's gray man in this type of situation? Gray man is blending in with your surrounding people so you be unrecognizable. Well, that rule does not apply in this scenario, because if you're going to look like normal people, then for what's going on and roaming the streets, then you're going to be wearing some face covering gear and stuff like that. Now, there's certain times where you might need to do that, but the cops and military might roll you up. You got to be careful. You got to be like a chameleon, change your disguise. So I put together this pack. This is a Molly equip pack. I took all this Molly gear off, because that, for one, is going to make you a target. They're going to think, oh, you have something. You might be already a target anyways. This is a black camouflage type backpack. But, I mean, there's people that have these, man. And there's so much chaos going and stuff like that. You're not going to be singled out as someone that's suspicious, especially in some big old event like this. So, let's check this out. How we getting home? How we getting out? You need a water bottle, period. You need a water bottle. It really doesn't matter what you're wearing, because everybody's wearing everything out there. There's all kinds of people wearing military gear and stuff out there right now, because it's a war zone out there. So you're going to be gray man no matter what you wear. Unless you're carrying a pack that has all this stuff hanging off, you don't want a backpack carrying all this stuff draped off it. That's why I took all that off of here. I just have these water bottle things on here. Other than that, for the most part, nobody's going to be worrying about it. They're on a mission, but they will be looking to rob people. So be aware for that. Along with the map, you need a compass, use a compass. If not, don't bring it. But huge place, you need a sense of direction. If you know your area in the Los Angeles vicinity, then this might be irrelevant to you. But once you get out of your comfort zone, your familiarity zone, you may need this. Life straw. You need a life straw. You never know, just in case. Life straw. Or some sort of smaller filtration device. Hat. Keep that sun off your head. You never know. Glasses. Sunglasses. You need sunglasses. Ain't showing people who you're looking at. And showing where your mindset is, your visual is. Sunglasses, keep the sun out your eyes, whatever. Conceal. Sunglasses. Flashlight for nighttime. You don't know how long you're going to be trekking through them streets. You don't know how long. And maybe you're coming into a situation where you're walking through the streets. I mean, there's going to be cops everywhere. And somebody's getting to rob you. And you need to signal the cops that's way down the street. They can't hear you. They just think you're one of the hoodlums roaming the street. Say to them. Maybe they'll come. You need to see anyways. You need to see where you're going. You need a flashlight. That is ham radio. It is smart to carry one of these ham radios. And the right downloads you put in here, you can get police scanners. You can find out where certain areas are hot spots. Everything. You can find all kinds of stuff on these radios. Very important to have one of these. These little braces, like I showed on a previous show. You twist the ankle, you twist your wrist, something. This cheap little thing right here will support those injuries. You get a bad lash or a cut, you can even stretch this and put pressure on it with this. Many different uses for this type of a gadget. Some paracord. Many different uses for paracord. I don't need to go get into it. You already know. Paracord, I think, is a must-have for even this type of situation. I showed you before. These Kneepex, or a lot of Americans call them Nipex. Mini bolt cutters. You cut through obstacles. There's going to be all kinds of road blockage and stuff like that. It depends if you're in a car or something. There's some coiled barbed wire. You need to get by though. You need to get by. Whatever. You need to go through chain link fence because anywhere around you is occupied by thugs that are looking for people just like you. You see danger ahead or something, you may or may not need these. These can do all kinds of things. Always good in an urban situation. Knife. Not one, but two knives. It doesn't matter. You just need a knife for protection. You don't even need it for a fire. You don't need it for any of that shit. You need it for protection. You keep these in two separate places. Have one on your person and one in your backpack. Always. Knives. Highly suggest two knives. Bear spray. Some pepper spray. This has like a 30, 40 foot shooting range. You get a mob of people that's coming after you or something, spray their ass. Right in their face. That might buy you just enough time to get the hell out of there. This goes a long distance. It's only a few, like 4, 5, 6 seconds, whatever, spray time. But that'll be enough to get you out of one nasty situation. And maybe 2 or 3 nasty situations if it's not that many people. Be careful. A wind direction. You don't want to blow back in your face and you just be an absolute easy target. Easier than what you were. This could help, man. This really could help. This is a power bank. Charge your phone. Keep your phone charged. I just got to charging this in my house. It's fully charged, ready to go. It does have a solar bank that charges. And for a lot of phones that are capable of this, you can just set your phone on here and it'll charge it. You don't need to plug it in. But I do have the cables and stuff to charge it. Very good, very handy. You charge your flashlight. You can charge your radio if it's USB accessible. Very good, very handy, and a must-have if you're carrying any kind of electronics. Flashlights are included in electronics. Multi-tool. Multi-tool. You're in the city. You're going to need a multi-tool. It has, obviously, screwdrivers, these little pliers, a little knife. You know what a multi-tool has in it. Multi-tool, smart. Yes, this is a cheap one, but it works nonetheless. Everybody needs a multi-tool. Bug spray, mosquitoes, whatever. Shit just getting on you, just making it you that much more miserable. This is some potent bug spray. It's stronger than most of them big can ones. It's small, it's compactable. Very good to have in that situation. Extra pair of socks. Always good to have an extra pair of socks. Because you don't know, you could take a couple days. And then once you walk and that sweat comes down and stuff like that, it starts caking up your feet. You need to be able to have a good, clean pair of socks to put on your feet to keep you going. Good pair of shoes is a must. Absolutely need a good pair of walking shoes, hiking shoes, something. Whatever floats your boat on that, you need a good pair of shoes to get you going. This is Cannonball. Doesn't matter. Petroleum. You can put it on your feet before you start your trekking. It'll help prevent you getting blisters. You got chapstick, sunburn, anything, wounds. This is like a jack of all deals for your prep bag. A lot of different uses for this, including fire starting and all sorts of stuff. Chapstick, lip balm, whatever. This stuff. Chafing. You know, sweats are coming out of your body and your skin's just and it gets welts and very uncomfortable, painful spots. Either you can have them between your legs or whatever. People get them different places. This is going to make the life or death difference in that aspect. Definitely get some sort of balm or chapstick, something. It'll help. I have another little screwdriver. Like I said, Phillips, flathead, whatever. And it's good to have this type of stuff because it's an improvised weapon. It's nice, smooth. It goes good on your palm. If you need to, just carry it. Nobody's going to hardly see it. And just, I mean, if you need to, jab somebody in the face with that in a self-defense way, it's going to help. Have stuff, multi-purpose stuff. The more weapons or things that you can use as a weapon, especially in a hostile situation like Los Angeles is going through right now, is highly advised. A lighter. You always need a lighter. Carry a lighter. You never know. I know there's plenty of fires going on in LA, but you need to have your own means of a fire. Don't set cars on fire. This is just an emergency for whatever you may possibly need it for. There's many different reasons why you could need this. So always carry a lighter. I have another, just a little, tiny little buck knife. It's good to have a cut string, whatever. It's just this. I'll get to in a second. In here, bandana, very important. Many uses. Tourniquet, bandage, concealment, washcloth, all sorts of stuff. A preemptive water filter to get out the big contaminants. just all kinds of stuff. Bandana, many, many uses. Everyone should have this in a survival bag, bug out bag, get home bag, whatever bag, a safety bag, emergency bag, gloves, hard glove, hard knuckles. Very good. You may need these if you're climbing shit, if you're in combat, something, hard knuckle. You need some gloves. You need some gloves. You're going to deal with a lot of crazy obstacles in Los Angeles. And you're going to need some gloves. Baklava, like I showed you before. This is for concealment. You put this over. You already know what this is. It goes over your face. And this might be the gray man that is not in normal situations. Gray man, put your glasses wherever the hell my sunglasses are. But it's great. It's great. It conceals. You may need it when you're walking through mobs of people to try to pretend like you're part of their ordeal. But the way you walk through the people that's protesting and stuff, you might want to look gray man to them. But you might want to take all that shit off when you have to walk through a mob of cops or a highly secured area that there's lots of police and military and stuff like that. You know, you're not going to want to be dressed like you look like you're BLM or whatever. You know, it's all about trying to make it safe. And you have to have different disguises for different areas that you're going in. And then certain areas you want to look as normal as possible, because if you're in a real good neighborhood and you have some of this stuff on, or you just look suspicious, they're going to call the cops, and the cops are going to come down there and protect the good parts of the neighborhoods like they always do, especially in LA. This little pair of glasses for seeing detailed little nitty-gritty stuff, like I said before, you may not need it, but me, my eyes ain't that great up close, so I do need these. Something to consider. Another flashlight. 2 flashlights. May or may not need it. If you have a full charge battery, whatever. These are, I could charge this with that solar bank. These LED lights, they last a long time. So you get all night with these on high. Here, got some little snacks. I just doing this to show, but having some sort of food can keep your morale going, keep your energy up. Very good to have. You have water. Now you need some of these. These are electrolytes, hydration packets. You're gonna need these because you're sweating, you're excreting all this salts and everything, minerals from your body. You need something to replenish those, and hydration, electrolyte packs are gonna do the job. Very good. And it adds some flavor. This is like lemon flavor or something like that. You're gonna add some flavor to that water to keep your mouth watered too. So, very good to have that at all times in any pack. This is, I showed this on a previous show before, very effective. Good little crowbar. And a little chopping little knife deal, hook. You can use this as an improvised weapon if need be. I mean, I wouldn't want to get hit with this. I wouldn't want to get sliced with this. You know, you start swinging this and you have that hook. You know, it it rips somebody up. In emergency situation only. Good tool, good strong tool. Has a clip so you can clip it on your belt. Something like that. Toilet paper, coin tissues. Little bit of water. Expand it to a towelette like this. A wet towel, wet wipe. Toilet paper. You can take toilet paper or you can take these. These are many, many uses. Put a little bit of water on it and just big towelette. Big wet wipe. Very good, very handy. If you're not thinking you're going to be by water or whatever, I mean, it doesn't take much for these. Very good. Now, it's good to have this stuff set in places where you know that you can get to it and you know where everything's at. Because you're not going to get all the time in the world, because people are out there. People are scoping. You got people out there that are hunting for people. You got cops that are hunting for people. And they're not really caring who they wrap up. So, I am going to pause this real quick, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. How to find my Silcock keys, which everyone needs in a urban survival situation. Silcock keys. You can get water anywhere through any commercial buildings with these Silcock keys. Utility keys. You can get into access to electricity, electricity compartments in trains, elevators, all sorts of stuff. Having Silcock keys is a must-have in any urban survival situation. You must have it. LA, they're everywhere. Now, I know most of you don't live in LA and they ain't ever going to LA, but this is a show on a situation, something like the sort. Don't think that this is only going to be in LA. It's gonna tidal wave throughout the United States. This is not an LA issue. This is an immigration issue that disagreements and all the crap, it's a lot of this stuff that's happening is coordinated and they're funded by special interest groups. This, no matter what the mainstream Operation Mockingbird is telling you, it's bullshit. This is all coordinated from beyond the executive branch. I'm talking about NGOs, non-government organizations that are funding this. And it's part of a bigger plan than what you're seeing on the surface. Now, the people on the streets, they're arguing because apparently they're wrapping up people that are legal and stuff like that, or that were here maybe illegally, but it defeats the purpose of what they were going after people for in the first place. They just want to start messing with people. I mean, it's understanding from the cost points and certain in certain ways of seeing it, but this is all part of the divide and conquer and order out of chaos. So they're creating with a dialectic problem, reaction, solution. That's what they're doing. They already have the solution. And like I've always said, this is the solution of the New World Order. They're implementing it little by little, spoon feeding us. And what's going to be the result of this? Taking away more of our rights and liberties, all sorts of stuff. I'm not going to really get into that because today's show was about get home bag or get out of home bag, whatever situation you're in. For a prime example of the Los Angeles area. But like I said, it could happen anywhere throughout the United States, and it will happen more and more often. So that's basically it for what I got on this show today. Please like, share, subscribe. New World Order Survival Guy. Catch you on the next one. Have a good night.